Hey guys, welcome to Spartanburg, the home of BMW, at least the SUVs, but I'm here with this. This is the brand new 2025 BMW 2 Series, and get this, it's the least expensive BMW you can buy in America. The base version of this car, the 228 Si, starts at just under $40,000, and for that, you get all of the BMW Autobahn goodness and a new, and dare I say, small kidney grill. So let's start with styling. You can already see it. Gone are the beaver teeth and replaced by a more traditional and illuminated BMW grille. Now, I gotta tell you, I love this color. This is not a standard color, but unlike Porsche's paint to sample, if you want something like this, you can get it. This is a $3,600 option, and you get this lovely sky blue color. And for $3,600, I think it's kind of a bargain, especially when you think about other personalized colors. Now, for the 2 Series, BMW is only bringing in the M styling, so it looks a little bit more aggressive. It looks a little bit more brutish, which is a good thing in a BMW, because if you see that in your rearview mirror, you're going to move out of the way. So let's start with what's under the hood. It's a 2-liter turbo, and in this 235, dare I say M235, not the M2, the M235, it produces, it's a BMW, got to do it twice. I always forget. It produces 312 horsepower, and in this example goes to all 4 wheels with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. And for those of you who are longing for a manual, you're going to have to get the M2, which is built on a different chassis. That's the only way you're going to be able to get a manual. Otherwise, not just in America, but in all the world, this is going to come with a 7-speed dual clutch. But let me show you something. This is kind of cool. If we go around the back here, and I'm sure that the first person who buys this car will probably do this, especially now that you've seen it. So check this out, M235. But how hard would it be to remove the 35? Get yourself an M2. I'm not saying you do it, but with the quad tailpipes, it's not a bad idea. And with the spoiler and with this aggressive M styling, I bet you'd fool a lot of people. So let's hop in the front seat and let's check out what it looks like in here. So obviously you're sitting behind a fat M-style steering wheel with the little red stripe that tells you straight up. And this is something interesting. You see these 3 M stripes? Those are actually hand sewn in Leipzig, where this car is built. Now, you do have some very expensive and interesting touches. If it looks like metal, it is metal. So it's pretty hot out here today. This is nice and cold to the touch. The same thing goes for these vent surrounds and the illuminated night. Now, of course, this has the floating screen. And one of the things that I'm not in love with is that you don't have any HVAC controls, even though you do have standard wiper controls. But you don't have haptic buttons here on the steering wheel. Those are real buttons. Of course, paddle shifters. You get these sport seats along with basically the M3 brakes on this car. BMW calls them 19-inch brakes. They're not 19 inches, they're 15 inches, but they're set in 19-inch tires. So from behind the wheel, 312 horsepower, dual clutch transmission, pretty good. Now this one doesn't have a sunroof, which I'm happy because I'm 6'2", and I'm pretty tall and I'm pretty wide and I'm pretty fat. But you know, a lot of the sporty cars now have the carbon seats, and I just don't fit. These are actually super comfortable. I could see going across country in this car and being very, very happy. Now, you may be wondering, how much is this? Starts at about $50,000. So you do get a little bit more expensive, but then again, you do get all-wheel drive, and you do get this really badass color. Once upon a time, I owned a 3 Series M3 second generation E36, and that car was about the size of this 2 Series, and that's what I love about the 2 Series. It is no longer tiny, but it is compact. New cars have gotten so big. I say that as I'm forcing myself in here. So yeah, I mean, you can tell very little headroom, very little knee room. So if you were thinking about convincing your other significant other that this was a good family car, maybe if you've got kids and you want to put some child seats back here, but for adults, maybe up to 10 years old, but for somebody like me, it's still pretty small. But you know what? I'm going to be sitting up front here, so I think that's actually a really good thing. Let's look in the back and see how much space we have back here. It's a good sized trunk. I mean, you got your ski pass-through back here. Under here is a nice little cubby hole. So, you know, for the smallest of the BMW sedans, it's actually not bad. And like I said, I love the quad tailpipes, and I love the little spoiler. So, you may be thinking to yourself, Roman, what else is new? Let me show you. So, of course, all BMWs have the Hofmeister kink, and for this new 2 Series, you've got a nice little 2 that lets you know, like I was saying, we've got 19-inch wheels with specially designed tires for this new 2 Series to make it a little bit more stable, a little bit more fun to drive. And in the front here, you've basically got the M3 brakes. Look at how much little room there is. I mean, those tires are just stuffed under that hood. So the rub, of course, for the 2 Series has always been that if you get the base model, it's front-wheel drive, transversely mounted. And that seems at odds with what BMW is, because BMW has always been about performance. So, you know, it's been known for the straight six, rear-wheel drive. But let's face it, at, you know, just under $40,000, this is a car, well, this one's under $50,000, that will put a huge smile on your face. Now, this is only a first look at the car. We have yet to drive it. I have yet to take it around the track. But from initial impressions, I gotta say, I think BMW, at least with the new grille and with this color, and I'm a sucker for light blue, has really gotten their mojo back. So I'm happy to see that we now have what I would consider a more classic, a more traditional 2 Series for all of you Bavarian Motorworks fans. As always, this is Roman saying thanks for watching. Remember, head on over to alltfl.com for more news, views, and of course, real-world BMW 2 Series reviews. I'll see you next time. Ciao.